Hello, my name is Tyler Breedlove, and today we're going to present about the SPCA. In this presentation, I'll start by giving a brief history of the SPCA. Roman will talk about identifying the problem. Jesus will talk about project goals and outcome. And then Rodney will talk about actual project outcomes. Alex will talk about the team reflection and our group's recommendations, and then I'll wrap up the presentation. So now I'll be giving a brief history of the SPCA. So the SPCA's mission statement is, our mission is to provide protection, placement, and education to ensure responsible animal care. Some facts about the SPCA: they were founded March 13, 1946, and operated by volunteers from the home of Mr. and Mrs. John Oliver. And I believe it said there was about 30 to 40 volunteers. In April 1947, John Dunlap was hired on as the first humane officer. In June of 1948, they purchased their first vehicle, and before that, they were using their own vehicles to transfer dogs and anything like that. Now that I gave you a brief history of the SPCA, Roman will talk about identifying the problem.
Okay, so the current problem the SPCA is currently facing is the gift shop. So the gift shop is the current location of the gift shop isn't as effective as it would like to be due to the location of it, just far away from the center, from the adaptation center, and so there's no much signs that show, oh, here's a gift shop. So people don't really know, or customers, clients don't really know where it's at unless one of the employees or volunteers kind of tells them, hey, the gift shop's over here, come use it. So it's not really efficient. However, Linda kind of told us when the people were trying to adopt dogs or anything like that, cats, didn't really want to go to the shop because they were scared to lose their spot while trying to adopt. So now she kind of told us that they're going to move the gift shop right next to the center where they're going to adopt the dogs or cats, making it more efficient, better, so that when people are trying to adopt dogs or cats or any sort of animals, they can go shop and use the center, the gift shop. While they're doing that, they're not going to lose their spot in line. They're going to be in the same spot, and they could just be shopping for any necessities they might want to buy their pets or animals, any food, clothing. So, and then once they're ready to adopt their cat or dog or any animal, they can just call them in or go in there and kind of tell them, hey, it's ready. Whenever you like to proceed the process and finish it and take your pet home with any new toys or food or clothes you might want to purchase. So for that, we kind of just created a layout as a group. We all pitched our ideas and we all came to a consensus about how we wanted the layout to look out for it to be more efficient for them. So now I'm going to pass it over to Jesus, who's going to talk more about the layout.
Thank you for that, Roman. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about our layout, kind of what our thoughts were when we were putting it together, and why this one worked out the best. So the first thing we want you to notice in the middle, at the very top, you'll be seeing a welcoming sign. This will address one of their first issues that the gift shop currently has. So as stated earlier by Roman, their current gift shop doesn't have a sign. So it's just a big building. People don't know what's there. It's not welcoming. It's not inviting. So we thought the first thing that to help this gift shop would be to make a welcoming sign. And also, we made it to be where if you walk into the store, you have to go through everything in order to get out. So it's a very like a little small, like a circle, like an oval, you could say. So as soon as you walk in, we thought the first thing that a consumer would want to see is a big seller, something affordable and expensive, but it's at the same time something that excites them. So we thought about putting these stuffed animals and toys in the front. After talking to Linda, she was able to let us know some of the big sellers, and that's what it is. They're stuffed animals and toys. They're huge sellers. At the Fresno Fair, she would sell them sometimes for $5, $10, $15, $20, whatever she wants to put the value at. And so we thought that that's something that consumers would still like, whether it be at a fair or at the gift shop. And that's something that seems to fly off the shelves. And another idea that we gave Linda would be to give free tags for dog tags, cat tags, for newly adopted animals. So this will give people a reason to want to come into the store to get the tag. And I noticed that we put them at the bottom. We put it at the bottom left side where it says tag machine, that's where we'll have everything. Right next to them, we'll have a dog rack, cat rack. Those are mostly the animals that take up a lot of space there at the SPCA that they have more quantity of. So we decided to put set new racks for them. And right next to that, you can see a pet crate, blankets, and pet beds. So we wanted to keep it very standard, very simple for consumers, and at the same time give them products that they'll like and they'll use. A lot of all the products that are current in the current gift shop, they'll be moved over to this one. And another thing too is that this should help out the revenue now that more consumers will be able to go inside the gift shop, know where it's at. The issue right now at their current gift shop is that it's producing less than $2,000 in revenue per month. And as far as pricing goes to set up the new gift shop, we're not sure exactly how much of it yet, just because bids were delayed due to the COVID-19. So unfortunately, we couldn't grab that information just as of yet. But I'm going to be moving over now. We're going to move it over to Rodney. He'll be speaking next.
I'm going to be going over the actual project outcomes. So I'm going to go over a little bit about the goals and the guidelines that Linda gave us when we first started this project, and then what actually transcribed from that. So some of the goals or expectations that she had for us was to create a business plan or a business model for what the new gift shop would look like. This would include a new layout, a new location, and potentially some new or more inventory, depending on the hot ticket items. Additionally, she said she wanted to create a business plan that improved operations and profit, as well as improving the profit. And they wanted to change the location to improve the store appearance and accessibility to guests. So with all these guidelines, it was pretty broad and it gave us a lot of room to explore. However, due to COVID-19, we had limited implementation of that business plan. As Jesus talked about, we were able to create the business plan. However, the implementation of that was very limited due to just the restrictions placed on the SPCA with volunteers. And so as soon as those restrictions are lifted, we are expected to, or they are expected to start implementing some of those ideas with the help of the volunteers. And as well as that, we also created some recommendations that Alex will be going over in a minute. So I'll pass it along to Alex.
All right, I'll be talking about the team reflections and lessons learned through our experience with the SPCA. Some of the team strengths were organization, communication, and team management, whereas the weakness was being able to schedule our physical meetings due to COVID-19. One big key in being able to do this project was communication. Thanks to Jesus, who set up the first contact with our community partner. And from there, being able to set up time meetings where we were able to meet virtually or through text. As well, we learned the importance of volunteerism in the nonprofit sector, especially in regards to the SPCA, whereas mentioned before, volunteer is a huge aspect of how they run their operation regardless of their financial stability. They depend very heavily on volunteers. Next, I'll be talking about some of the recommendations. One of the major recommendations that we provided for the SPCA was revision of their checkout procedure. One of our team members went in and purchased an item, and the procedure took kind of long. They asked for his name, his address, his phone number, all of these unnecessary items that shouldn't have been asked. I think we believe that it should be changed to a more simple, like grocery type, where they scan your item, you pay, and you leave. Another issue that we wanted to address was maybe providing a loyalty program where it would be able to boost brand awareness, donor appreciation, and customer retention. The SPCA could send out newsletters or attachments in their loyalty program. Don't appreciate donors monthly, and customer retention by providing points that they could later on redeem for more supplies at their new gift shop. Finally, I'll pass it on to Tyler.
I'll wrap up the presentation by briefly going over what each person talked about. The current problem the SPCA is facing is their gift shop, as you found that out from Roman. Jesus talked about our goals, which were to create a plan, improve operations, and improve store appearance. Rodney talked about actual project outcomes. Alex talked about our biggest struggle as a team, which was finding a time to meet online. Due to the COVID-19 restrictions, we obviously couldn't meet in person, so we really had to find a way to meet. And with our schedules, it was really tough. Our biggest strength was our team's organization. Trying to piggyback off that, I feel like we did a really good job organizing. Jesus did a good job of leading us. There's nothing to say else about that. He just did a really good job. He also followed up that with our group's recommendations, which were a revision of a checkout procedure and the loyalty program. And that concludes our presentation.